88.9 FM, WNYO, Oswego, New York, your station for live Laker athletics. And you can now listen online at WNYO.org.
Welcome back to the post-game show here at NYO on campus at SUNYAC Oswego. Really a tough loss there for the Lakers, just really getting blown out. So we are getting word right now from Mike Keeley that Mike McMullen made the tournament team, as did Andrew Lazaro and Hamilton for Oswego. So there's a little bit of a silver lining in that. And as a matter of fact, the Oswego season is not over. They will have a doubleheader this week against Utica, and there is still a chance to get an at-large bid into the national tournament, as Josh was mentioning earlier. So, guys, we are also getting told Max Rosing is the MVP of the tournament, of the SUNYAC tournament. So, the congratulations to him. Back to the game, though. Recapping that, obviously nothing really went too right for Oswego. Mark Hughes, great job shutting them down all day, and just not a good day for Oswego baseball.
No, I mean Hughes got a rhythm early on in the game, settled in, and really pitched flawless baseball. Played a really good quality start for him. On the other hand, Miller kind of left the ball over the plate a little bit and had mistakes there, and Cortland took advantage of that. As like we said in the pregame, just gotta stay away from that.
Yeah, we said that the Lakers needed to really come out and be very solid in the field, and okay, you're down 2-0, 3-0. That's fine. Not a big deal there. But then the floodgates opened in the fifth when they gave up 6, and then in the fourth when they gave up 6, and then the fifth when they gave up another 4. So that really didn't help them as the game just kind of got out of hand. And Cortland was the dominant team this whole entire season. Guys, think about this: third consecutive SUNYAC title. That's 28 in the program's history. Now, I don't know about you, but, that's like Yankee numbers. That's like New York Yankee numbers.
I was going to say, well, the Yankees got 27. So.
they got to catch up to Cortland, jeez. But no, a lot of credit goes to Hughes. He pitched a gem. He had a game plan, and he came out and he executed it quite brilliantly, with a couple of hits and stuff like that sprinkled in for the Lakers. But, Cortland played all 5 assets of the game today.
Yeah, and, making a further comparison here between Cortland and the Yankees, we saw Phil Hughes take a great start yesterday for the Yankees, so maybe there was some mojo going on for the Hugheses this weekend, but no relation between those two, I don't think, but just a little interesting side note. But we talked about how Hughes does have trouble with walks and occasionally hits, but really today he kept that down. There wasn't much of really an effort. Not an effort, I shouldn't say that, but there wasn't much opposition from the Lakers in that sense. They did have 7 hits, but just 1 run off those 7 hits. I think a lot of them came with 2 outs. So there was just tough. They weren't able to get anything going, and only just 1 walk, and I believe it was in the first inning,
right?
If I'm not mistaken. So Hughes pretty much spotless from start to finish, and they took him out in the 7th, and he just a great game from him. For Oswego, they, like we were talking about, they kept the ball up. Miller did, and we said it. Cortland will make you pay. They had 16 home runs in the regular season. They had 4 today. So that's a power. There's no power outage here in Cortland. So this Cortland team, I'm not going to dwell too long on it. They're a dangerous team going forward, and it'll be interesting to see how far Oswego can go if they do get that at-large bid. But certainly, I don't think anyone in the country really right now should be wanting to play Cortland. Other than to see where they stack up. But this team is just loaded from top to bottom.
Yeah, this team is really, it's a beast team. I wouldn't want to play them right now. They're hot. They've been hot all year, as Josh said. And they just pitched a good game today. And Hughes came out and stuck to his game plan the way he wanted to in pregame, and he executed very well. And that's the key to win here. There.
When you look at a team that can win and win on a big stage, there's a couple different components have to be there. They have to have pitching. Hughes isn't even their number 1 guy, not even their number 2 guy. He came out, pitched a gem. They have to have hitting. Tim, you mentioned it, 4 home runs in today's game. and you got to be able to back it up in the field. Turn in a couple double plays in situations early in the game where Oswego could have put runs on the board. They made it a closer game. So I think, going forward, if there's a team that can get into Cortland's bullpen, that might be their only Achilles heel. Other than that, they're a team who really will compete, really will have a shot to get to the super regionals and possibly a final, if they can continue to win and continue to win at a good rate.
And here's a talent stat for Oswego. Out of all the guys they had out there at bat today, not one got on base twice. That's a big issue. The hitters that had hits had one, and the only player who had a walk, which was Mike Stark, the leadoff hitter, he didn't have a hit. So when that happens, it's just like I was mentioning. It's hard to string anything together. It's hard to get productive offense going. And again, credit to Hughes, he was able to really limit this offense, which isn't a bad one. I mean, they're not. They have a couple good hitters in this lineup. And they just weren't able to get anything going. And I think I'm looking at the stats right now for Thor Miller. We were talking about how he needed to get ground ball outs. Reading that, it looks like he only had 3 compared to 8 fly ball outs. Yep. And that's just not.
And then
the
4 home runs.
Right. I mean, if you're a pitcher that is not really a strikeout pitcher, not known for getting guys to swing and miss, you want to focus on getting ground ball outs. That's the more productive and the safer way of getting through innings. That just did not happen today.
I think, when we look at Oswego, where could they have improved? There's not much. Maybe they're hitting. In comparison to Cortland, Oswego doesn't have 4 or 5 pitchers deep. They really can trust Dan Earn. He's a great pitcher. John Stevens, and then Pat Brown. He's their long relief guy, and then Matt Bishop. That's really it for them. They don't go as deep as some other teams, as Cortland. And that's nothing against Thor Miller. He just didn't have a solid enough year. His velocity wasn't where it was last year. And so, they struggled. And, it's really, really hard to keep a mental focus in a game when you're down 6-0, 6-2, or 6-1, 10-1, 15, 16-1. And it really gets on a team. And you got to give credit for the Lakers for still battling, first SUNYAC appearance in over 10 years, championship appearance in over 10 years. So, there are some times, but Cortland, the better team. But there's still hope for Oswego. They still have an opportunity to possibly get an at-large bid in the regionals. They've had a very strong year, one of the better ones in Coach Scott Lander's tenure. So, they're still playing, staying sharp against Utica this week, and they'll know, I believe it's next weekend, whether or not they're going to be playing in the regionals.
Right, and I mean, the good news is for Oswego, like we've been saying a couple of times now, is it's not necessarily over. That's for sure. But if they do want to improve, I think it just comes down to, and we talked about it a little bit, and it happens a lot when you have these big leads, and the urgency starts to rise. There's a lot of you get antsy at the plate.
Yep.
And there were several instances where they were one pitch, one out, and that's tough because you want to get the pitch count up on Hughes. You want to see what he's got, and you want to make him, as a guy who gives up some hits, you want to make him make that mistake, and you're not giving him that opportunity if you're at the first pitch. And it's a matter of just being more patient, I think, and obviously not getting out to a huge deficit at the start of the game.
Yeah, the Cortland batters were more patient than Oswego batters. I think Oswego just for getting antsy, like Tim said, just when a guy's on, when a pitcher's on, and you swing at the first pitch, it's going to be an out, and you're not going to get on. You're not going to get anywhere with that, and that's what happened today. Hughes was on his A game and swing at the first pitch, and obviously it came to be an out.
Yeah, once again, the final score 16-1 Cortland. They win their 3rd consecutive SUNYAC championship. Winning pitcher Matt Hughes moves to 6-1 on the season. The losing pitcher Thor Miller for the Lakers 1-3 in his most likely final start of the season. So what's next for the Lakers? Well, they have a doubleheader against Utica coming up later this week. And the reason they scheduled that was because there's a possibility they could get an at-large bid into the regionals for the NCAA tournament. Now, you want to stay sharp, so you want to still play games. Yep. So that's the reason. So next weekend, we will find out if Oswego is headed to a site to be determined for the regionals. And I want to bring up one last thing, guys. I talked about it a little bit on the pregame. Auburn is a possibility where Oswego could play. Now that's only maybe a 2-hour drive, great facilities, and they would have a very opportunistic outlook on that game. And there's also a possibility that if they do get there, NYO might cover that game. So stay tuned for that as well.
Okay, yeah, and just one more time around the table. Josh already gave his final thoughts. Tom, you got anything else to put out there today's game?
Well, I do think going on, if they do get an at-large bid, I think they just they got to change a couple things on offense. Remember, they're not a powerhouse with their pitcher, so they got to pitch to contact, either it's fly ball or ground ball. But I do think they got to become more patient. Don't lose yourself in the game when you're down 6-0. You try to get back inch by inch, and that's what they have to improve on going on.
Right. So one more time here at Cortland, Oswego loses 16-1 in the SUNYAC final. They will not. The season is not necessarily over. They will hopefully play, as Josh mentioned, they will play this week against Utica and hopefully get that at-large bid. So for myself, Tom, Josh, we wish you all well. You've been listening to 88.9 FM WNYO Sports. Until next time.
Need some life mentoring? Have questions about STDs? Think you're pregnant? The Pregnancy Care Center of Oswego County offers practical resources and caring guidance in a safe setting for anyone experiencing an unplanned pregnancy or seeking assistance relating to pregnancy or past abortion. Information on sexually transmitted diseases, help with practical items, free pregnancy tests, and referrals to community resources including medical care, child care, housing, and social services. The newly implemented Earn While You Learn program is geared towards education on parenting and even life skills such as money management and resolving roommate conflicts. And all services are free and confidential. Their phone number is 315-343-4866. OswegoPregnancyCenter.org. A public service announcement from the Pregnancy Care Center of Oswego County.
You're listening to your station for new music now. 88.9 FM, WNYO, Oswego, New York. Visit us online at WNYO.org. To contact the office, you may phone 312-2101. To call the request line, 312-2907. 88.9 FM, WNYO.
Meet Julie, a daughter, a sister, a cheerleader, a friend. Julie gets good grades, doesn't do drugs or drink. She's pretty popular. She's the kind of kid every parent dreams of, every teacher is proud of, and every kid wants to be their best friend. Wouldn't you want to be just like Julie? No. Because Julie is also a backseat bullet. She didn't think she needed to buckle up in the backseat of her friend's car, and when a truck crashed into them, Julie flew forward, killing herself and her two friends in the front. Don't be like Julie. Don't